Welcome.
Hey.
Welcome, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hello!
Hey. What a day. So,
Wow, a whole day.
Well, it's been a whole day already.
Huge day.
We're on day 2 now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Day.
So, I have... What do I have?
You have a topic.
I have a topic. Thank you. And Miss Megan has a topic as well.
I do.
So we'll just jump right into it.
So we got a double host
Quite different
today.
topics, but that's okay.
It's true. Hi, I'm Murph. This is Megan.
Hi.
JOS and Will.
And this is the Poets Cast.
Yeah. So, I'm all over the place, as per usual. So, I'm just going to jump right into it. AI. What do you guys know about AI?
It's pronounced I.
It's pronounced AI.
Artificial intelligence. Anytime I hear the word, I think of that Steven Spielberg movie, which I remember came out in 2001 and did not think about until I finally watched it. And let me tell you, I did not really enjoy it that much.
What movie?
AI, artificial intelligence. Haley Joel Osment plays a robot who wants to be a real boy. It's like a Pinocchio.
Real boy.
I want to be a real boy.
It's based on a novel called Super Toys Last All Summer Long. Stanley Kubrick was supposed to make it into a movie. Stanley Kubrick dies. Steven Spielberg picks it up, finishes the movie.
Stanley's dead?
Stanley.
Yeah. And it's a conspiracy.
Stanley Kubrick didn't follow the rubric.
So,
Yeah.
I actually have a little bit more knowledge than I would expect me to have. Mostly because on a regular basis, when Cyberf and I hang out, he has a list to talk to me, and there is an AI section.
Oh, is it sacred?
That is my roommate.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, here's the funny thing too, though, is the AI segment has shortened in recently weeks.
Yeah.
Not because AI news has gone down, but because it went from him having a list of like 30 things to talk about, because there'd be like 30 things to talk about in a week, to there'd be 30 things to talk about in a day.
Yeah.
So like it's so rapid right now, and it's moving so
AI
fast.
is in right now.
Well, you know, it is ChatGPT's first birthday, actually.
Hey.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Oh!
Yeah.
Today?
No. Last week it was. They said it on the radio. This one guy who was a CBC tech reporter was like, "It is ChatGPT's birthday," ignoring the fact that calling an AI having a birthday is creepy.
Means it has a soul.
Yeah.
Which it doesn't.
Yes.
Doesn't.
No,
So-
and people
so-
forget that all the time. It's like when I say this because I want Google Chromecast to hear me when I give it like directions and stuff, or Google Home Mini. But I always say yes, please, because if I say yes, then it like loads and then doesn't work. But like it'll, when it says like please and does courtesy, it's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, don't say sorry, you're a robot. Please don't humanize yourself.
Do my bidding.
And we have to kind of fight that, because it's like, I want clear separation between humans and robots.
So speaking of clear separation between humans and robots, me and Miss Megan were
We've
talking
been debating
about
about this
this earlier this week.
Yes.
So let me just
Yes.
jump into what. Well, actually, hold on before we go. So, what do you think about AI? Real quick, give me a brief summary. These two gave us their two
I definitely
cents.
think it's the future for sure, but I'm with Will. I want that clear line between AI and humans, I guess, and it's very much getting blurred these days.
So-
and it really worries me.
I'm sure it worries a lot of people. So, I don't really have any written structure. I have a comb. JOS has a notepad.
This is for my notes.
He is a scribe.
I am not scribing anything.
God damn it! And I will. So basically, in the terms of structuring this like AI discussion, because it's not a debate, but basically it pulled my interest earlier this past little bit, because there's this AI. Caesar can probably throw it up on screen. There's this Instagram AI named Aitana.
Something like that. Yeah.
López, yes. So this is not a real person. This is a pink-haired AI person. Okay, I see how I just contradicted myself.
Whatever.
This person doesn't exist. It's just AI created images, and they look real. But then my buddies at work were like, "They can't draw hands. That's how you know.
Yeah.
Look at the hands."
Oh, yeah?
Oh,
Yeah,
they've gotten better.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Hands.
there's a few pictures that the hands do look a little weird, but others you can't tell the difference.
Well, what you're talking about was maybe a week or two ago, they couldn't draw hands, and they've just recently
Now they have
fixed
hands.
it perfectly.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Perfect.
Oh my god, no.
With robotic precision. So, anyways, basically, there's this AI lady named Aitana López, which this company Megan thought was funny, called The Clueless, made in Spain, and this person has. It said 145K followers. It probably has roughly 200K now because I checked it and it was like 180. So basically, but I think it was super crazy because I was telling Megan that she was like, "Who's that? Who's that hoe?" And I was like, "No way you getting jealous of me looking at this girl because she doesn't exist." Not that Miss Megan was.
Does it have a Twitch stream? Because I swear I've seen one that has one.
I don't think there's video of it yet. I haven't really looked into it too much. I mean, I just looked at it and
let's do a topic and just not look into it.
That's my way. So, anyways, I was at work and we were talking about this, and I was talking about this to Megan, and I was like, "You just wait. In the next 50 years, our children and our children's children will be banging robots, and there's not a thing we can do about it." And let me tell you why. Because why wouldn't you? If I had a beautiful woman who did everything I asked her to do, and not to mention lifted my car above her head, changed my tires, and could just pleasure me and whoever I asked to the extent of anything.
You're digging a hole right now.
That's okay. We're going into a hole because that's the future. So, anyways. Basically, why wouldn't you do that? Because
it's not a person.
Yes, so Megan said that, but what makes it not a person? If I was a robot right now and I'm speaking to you just like this, there's no differentiation.
Because a robot can't engage with you.
Not yet.
Yeah.
But they will. Give it 50 years. I'll put the tinfoil hat on my head. I'm telling you, this is where we're going, and I guarantee you that what I would do is if I had a shit ton of money and I knew more about AI companies and stuff, like who were making these things, I would invest heavily in them, because just like this AI Instagrammer who doesn't exist, and now this company can make her do anything they want. She actually, so she makes money. This entity makes money for the company. She has an OnlyFans. She has all this stuff.
How does that work?
Yeah. It works because it makes
creepy, right?
Well, so it's like you can't
it takes
like
whole level.
OnlyFans, although it is they're starting with other content, but you can't it's about people taking naked pictures of themselves. A robot can't do that.
Right. What he's saying is the person looks real.
Yes. You couldn't tell the difference. And
now, is it a robot? Or are we talking?
No,
it's an image.
It's an image.
Yeah,
it's an entity. Yes. For now, it's it's an AI generated image.
So in which case, these people actually can't copyright that. Because
doesn't have a soul. It doesn't.
No,
exist.
that's not the reason why. But
and listen, Sprite doesn't have a soul. We can't copyright.
So
that
this character that they create and all the content is all done by AI, and they're raking in the money. That's fine.
As far as I'm aware. Yeah.
However, there is a law saying you cannot copyright the content created by an AI alone. If you use AI to help with your content,
yes,
that's one thing. But if you're just if the AI is creating all the content, you cannot copyright it.
We can pretty much
anybody else doesn't have intellectual property rights.
Yes,
it doesn't have.
We could steal this page wholesale, and there'd be nothing illegal about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's shit. Yeah. Which is funny because when
she's gonna be on the show next week.
She's right here.
She is in the building,
and she just warps in.
She's right here. Green screen. So which further takes me to the robot wife and all that hole we have dug. So basically, my buddy Kyle at work. He was, I know Kyle's right. So he was telling me, goddamn Cal. He was telling me, he's like, what would stop people from getting these robots who could do anything you want, interact you like I am now, and
it's not a human being.
having sex with them, but it doesn't matter because like many products on the market that people have sex with, they are not human beings. They are items, and some have mechanisms and do
Well,
these
it's just
crazy
be a
things all the
fancier
kids are
sex
talking
doll
about.
at that.
There you go.
And somebody
So-
said something about, like, of course, like, anything man invents he wants to have sex with, pretty much.
They find a way to make porn out of it.
Oh yes. So and then Kyle was telling me, he's like, yeah. So they have these AI generated porn now. So what? Why use influencers or influencers or real actors at all? And further, if you can plop these AI on robots and have sex with them, what's to stop? Maybe not Kyle, but the next Kyle, to buy a business, get these robots, put celebrity likenesses on them, and have people able to have sex with these robots in 50 years.
Because that violates the copyright of...
No, it doesn't.
well-
Because they're not real people.
No.
It's like
he's
if I
talking
made-
about the celebrity.
Yeah, using a celebrity.
You have to. So basically, especially with the
Okay, well, celebrity or not.
the point I'm also getting at is
Yeah.
right now because of the huge not controversy, the oh god, what are they called?
Quagmire?
No, the actors thing.
The actors strike.
The actors strike.
Yes.
So it's
That's what they're
finally
arguing
finished,
now.
and they have to. So in order to use their likeness with AI, they have to ask permission every single time from the actors. So you're not just going to have a random sex toy with Jennifer Aniston's face on it, unless Jennifer Aniston. I picked a random person.
Yeah, terribly.
She's pretty.
She's good. I mean,
Yeah,
40 years
yeah.
ago.
My God, guys!
What?
Oh my God!
She
So
looks the
anyway,
same to us.
sorry. Brad Pitt doesn't matter. The point is
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
the
The
point.
former couple themselves.
Yeah, there you go.
No, they weren't.
Brangelina, yeah.
No,
wait, that's
Brad
not
Pitt
what-
and Jennifer Aniston
Yes.
It was
were
like
together
couple, yeah.
until Mr. and Mrs. Smith came out, and then Brad Pitt broke up with Jennifer Aniston to be with Angelina Jolie. That's
It was,
how-
Okay,
it was
well,
30 years ago.
That's
Don't worry
stupid
about it.
shit. Anyway, the
I
point
know.
being though is they have to
Same
ask
views.
Brad Pitt to have his likeness for these dolls, and if he doesn't feel okay with that, then we're not going to see that. So it would have to only be original characters.
Like AI generated women or men.
well, yeah,
Like
that's
the Instagram model. That's what.
well,
I'm saying.
that's what my point. Like
Yeah.
the celebrities.
When do these celebrities who don't technically exist, but now do, have followings that are intellectual property that are owned by a company? This is where we started talking about Blade Runner, the new one. You seen it, eh?
Yeah, fuck, it's my favorite movie
Just
of the
checking.
last 5 years.
Oh yeah, fucking.
Yeah.
So,
6
for
years.
example, if you haven't seen Blade Runner, there's parts in it where he has this AI companion robot slash entity that like kind of loves him and like does unique stuff for him, and then no spoilers, but she goes away, and then he sees her later on when he's all disheveled. And it's kind of like a catch-22 irony where she says similar things, like the new same
Joy, yeah.
Joy, yes. She says similar things to him, so it's.
But it's not the same, right?
But isn't it? So that's what I'm saying. It's like we can say at the end of the day, AI exists and will only continue to exist more, right?
That is
I think
true.
we can all
Yes,
agree
I
on that. Right. This was a debate.
Unfortunately.
But yes, so which further takes me to the having sex with robots thing. So I wanted to elaborate.
It all comes
So,
back.
It really does.
I
And
do
honestly,
want to bring up this thing though. You're asking why wouldn't someone just make these dolls with the AI generated stuff, and it's because the AI itself will not have a copyright. So it means that you can't make original characters for any of those things.
If a human
No,
design
let's-
it, yes.
let
is it original?
Let me finish though.
Go ahead.
Because if you do, someone else is going to literally do the exact same thing with your characters and make shittier copies, and then someone else is going to do it, and then
Which
you
I
have
feel
a
like
saturated market that will not go.
Well, I
anywhere.
mean, you could say it's saturated, but just like the housing market in the last 5-10 years, Was saturated. Did that stop it from making thousands of dollars? Not really, because if there's, it's like supply and demand, right? So there will always be an OnlyFans. There will always be a Pornhub. There will always be all these things which people do and find sexually to just because they desire it, right? Mm-hmm. So now you have all these. Say they're the same, right? Say I have joy and you have joy, and we live right next to each other, and it doesn't matter because my joy does my things and your joy does your things. And our joys can literally fight it out like battle bots in the backyard. So if we so desire, we can bet on them. That's what I'm saying is like.
Well, what I'm saying though.
I'm saying it's gonna get fucked, and you.
So how do you
put
mean?
it in the comments.
Wait. How do you mean? Do you mean like, oh, you have yours, I have mine, and we could swap and it doesn't matter? Is that what you're saying?
No, not necessarily that it doesn't matter. I'm saying that it's.
You can just have illegal fights in the backyard.
Well, that's not.
We could do that before, Roby.
Exactly. Thank you. We can do that right now.
We actually have a fight club coming up next.
Don't talk about it.
It's in the other room. Yeah, geez, Will. Don't talk about it.
I'm so glad we soundproof.
The point I was getting at with the whole copyright thing is because you can't copyright this character, when this character is sold in any circumstance, who gets the money from?
So
that's the thing. Is
the
once you get
manufacturers
into,
of the robots, I guess.
I have a great
right, in which case it's only the robots getting the manufacturing, and then you have this market where the manufacturing robots are now.
Well, I have a great counter to that because it's copyright law, which is what this is sort of based around, exists, and it got extended up to like 96 years by Disney because their expiration on Steamboat Willie was gonna like expire the first use of Mickey Mouse
specifically.
Okay, not Steamboat Willie from 1926.
No, it was specifically Mickey Mouse was gonna lose his copyright.
Because my understanding was, so here's the thing is that like I'll just go by my understanding. I know it's incorrect, but like Steamboat Willie from let's say 1926 or whatever.
Yeah.
John Oliver brought it up on his show how next year. That the first cartoon of Mickey Mouse or whatever enters the public domain. And he's like, now I know that's expiring next year, but we're going to use them anyways this year and see what it is. And it had me thinking like, yes, the copyright on Steamboat Willie or Mickey Mouse is going to expire, but who doesn't associate that with Disney? Yes, Warner Brothers absolutely can use it to their heart's content, but they're still kind of the curators of that image. So is anybody, to that extent, does that matter? Because the big worry that I always have about my copyrights is like that somebody's going to steal my idea. But if everybody knows my idea, is it an issue?
Yeah, if everyone knows your idea is already related to your company and has been for the past 100 years, who cares?
Isn't the copyright though like? Isn't basically what they set up though with Disney, wasn't it that as long as you can like renew the copyright, you keep your character type of thing?
So the interesting thing was that originally it was like 46 years. And then they extended it to like 70, and then they extended it one more time to 96, and the government said, oh, okay, like let's not do that. And now you have people who like Marvin Gaye's children are the best example of like the idea is that a creator's family can like live off of that. But now we have like a generation of people living off their like parents' copyrights of something they themselves didn't create. So to answer your question, like Disney has no interest, and they've said they have no interest. What they actually think, we don't know. But in extending copyrights beyond 96 years, because then it's like Walt Disney, the creator himself, has been dead for more than 50 years.
Yeah.
So there's no point to it. In Disney themselves, a lot of people don't realize, it's like they didn't invent Snow White.
Yeah.
That Snow White is public domain, Beauty and the Beast is public domain. Well, all of these are public domain, but we associate them with Disney because they curate them. Their versions of it.
Their version is copyrighted.
Yeah.
But
the story itself.
So that's why they have all the different details from the original one, because Sleeping Beauty is not in any way, shape, or form named Aurora in the original stories. So they've created and there is no like Maleficent is not known as Maleficent.
Yeah.
There was no name there.
Well,
But
so
isn't
they
that the
created
fascinating thing, though? Is that we would, regardless of copyrights, we associate those stories with Disney just because they've curated it so much, even though their versions are the most sought after, the most well known. So they did their version the best.
The reason why I bring that,
I was gonna say, getting copyright aside, because we're getting a little off track.
Yeah.
Let's say we won't open a brothel and have people banging celebrity robots. But
I know you really much want it.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So Megan was telling me earlier this week when we were talking about the Aitana girl or entity. She was just, what were you saying? You're like, why would anyone do that?
Well, why would anyone do that if you have a real life woman?
So let me tell you why anyone would do that. So I did want to I want to mansplain this a little bit because we were talking about this weekend in the kitchen.
well, I could explain this in one word.
Go for it.
Fleshlight.
There you go.
It already exists.
And that's what I mean. And I was trying to think about this earlier in the shower. Weird sex toys in the shower. Weird things I think about. Wow,
It's your creative process.
Thank you. And gotta get
Merv's anal plug.
Speaking of anal beads, so basically it's like condoms. Condoms were an enhancing thing for sex. Maybe not necessarily to like enhance pleasure-wise, but it was a thing to add to sex. Then they're like, okay, well now the safety's covered. What else can we make? We can make ribbed condoms, right? Which further enhance sex. Then they're like, fuck the men, let's do women's stuff. And then they made vibrators and all these things, beads, bods, fucking robots.
So how does this tie into robots?
So
everything that's for women is for men.
There you go.
There is a version for men already.
So that's exactly furthering my point. So furthering my point, the mechanisms become more intricate. The mechanisms may become so intricate they can do things on their own, which become robots, which become AI. So everything, it's like I'm not gonna put humanity into this like funnel, but it's like everything we've done is like to perpetuate our sexuality from like the get-go. But that's not what I truly believe. But I'm just saying, furtherance of AI will eventually end in the most rudimentary way, which is sexual, like primal urges, right? And why wouldn't someone want to do that? That would get all their desires fulfilled, all the work they ever have to do done for them. If it's an oversaturated market, which it will most likely be, it'll be cheap. And then there'll be premium options and all this other crap. But I'm saying that this is where it starts, and I think anyone in AI would agree with me that furthering, you were just saying the copyright and all that stuff, is that take the physical aspect out of it completely, VR, Why even bother? Because you were saying when it's an oversaturated market, what will be the difference? I think it'll be the robot manufacturers, right? Like the equipment they use. But scrap the equipment. We don't need it because it's AI. It doesn't exist to begin with. It's in the digital plane. Just plug your brain in or put a VR headset on and watch this AI-generated porn, right? So that's where...
It's already a thing, is it not?
Yes, I believe it is.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, yeah. They have AI-generated everything.
Well,
no, go ahead.
The VR porn thing has been a thing for...
Yes. No, I want to hear what Megan's saying about this, because this is how
it's just like unnatural, and it's just, I don't know if maybe it's just the Catholic good girl in me, but I don't know. It's
if you think of it this way, right, it's the same scenario as, like, kinks and fetishes, right? Like, I know
once was
there
taboo.
are plenty of couples who will use toys despite the fact that like they have someone else with them.
Yeah.
Like there are literally dildos designed.
Enhances it.
It enhances the human connection.
However, enhancing it.
Would another human that I control enhance it further? And I'm not saying me personally, but anyone, like they're like, should I use this or should I use this entity? That can do anything and everything you ever would think of?
what's...
I hope I don't sound like a fucking weirdo, but I'm just saying.
You did regardless.
Okay, whatever. I'm not gonna have sex with AI things, but I'm saying in the future, I guarantee it's gonna be commonplace in like 60 years, if not
No,
sooner.
I agree.
How do we know that's not going to end up somehow becoming like the flying car thing? You know, where we all it's
Right.
like, oh, in 20 years we're going to have flying cars. The year 2000 comes by. It's like, oh, we don't have that.
To be fair, most scientific discoveries and developments actually came from them taking from sci-fi.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so...
Quantum entanglement.
Well, specifically,
Like
cell
Data
phones...
Pinkett.
Yeah.
Cell phones came from Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the communicators were the basis
The
of what created.
tricorders.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, words.
So we need better science fiction.
But, well, it's
That's where you come in.
debatable.
I'll get
but
started on my next script.
that being said, if you want to... what's actually really interesting about the idea of a robot that is like a human or whatnot... Coincidentally, there is an anime that actually goes into that topic of how someone can feel about this, how they can deal with this and all that
They
stuff.
call it Domo Arigato Mr. Roboto.
No, that's a song.
Fuck!
Nerd.
It's
Not
called Chobits, and it's from the
Sounds familiar.
what?
That sounds familiar.
And it's from the studio, or not the studio, the writers of Clamp, which are known for their almost over-the-top story plots that...
You say clamp?
Clamp. Wait.
Clamp?
Yeah, clamp.
Clamps!
Like clamps.
Clamps!
Yeah, like clamps.
It's
Basically, it's a writing team where one writer writes something, and then the next writer writes from that, and so like they are trying to basically guess. So you get a lot of weirder stories that they experiment with a lot more.
Yeah. I feel like there was a website back in the day that we did that on, like Newgrounds or Neopets or some nonsense.
Did what?
Yes, Neogrounds.
Neogrounds.
But I would
What did you
like...
say?
I was saying like did what exactly?
It wasn't it wasn't MSN. It was like you would write a sentence and then the next person would write the next sentence.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What am I thinking of?
I-
Leave it in the comments.
A friend of mine actually made a website like that anyway, so...
Yeah.
But anyway, I would highly recommend watching Chobits if you want kind of a better viewpoint.
Is it on YouTube?
What's it
No.
on? It's
I don't know what this
anime.
is. Oh, okay.
Anime.
So Crunchyroll.
Yeah, Crunchyroll, Funimation,
Yeah.
all the good stuff.
Mhm.
And I forgot where I was going to go from there. So
Chobits, robots.
I have one question that's like of the AI of today that I want to bring up.
I showed you.
And that's just that OpenAI started as a not-for-profit, and it's kind of still struggling to, I wouldn't say it's not struggling at all, but basically Microsoft is pumping so much money into AI that through ChatGPT, and it's like disconcerting to me that it's like I don't want Microsoft to own something that essentially should be a tool for the masses. That was
It will be. It's just like any kind of formatting tool. Pretty much, you're just.
So do you think it will end up something like Wikipedia, or do you think it will be like owned by Microsoft? Because it should be a not-for-profit.
For example,
as its intention.
I'm Microsoft, and I say I want AI. Here, it's mine now. No one can have it. Guess who doesn't give a fuck? AI. And AI, as it gets better, can make itself. And
But I think about like,
you know what I mean?
but they're the AI leader.
it's
But
like-
the AI leader is OpenAI, and I mean, interestingly, I don't know if you guys heard anything about it like last month, but it was basically like the guy who ran it, Sam Altman, was like, I don't know the behind the scenes or anything, but he was threatened to be fired.
no,
Yeah.
he was fired.
Yeah, he
Oh, was
was fired, and then he said, "Okay, I'm taking all of my people with me,"
Yeah.
and they all threatened to walk.
So actually,
Yeah.
so you're close. So
Please tell.
he was fired, and then all of the employees of it said, "We'll walk too if you don't rehire him, because he's the reason why we're doing this."
Excuse me.
And he was planning on just going to Microsoft. He wasn't planning on taking anyone with
Yeah.
him. People were just going to go with him. And they ended up rehiring him again because they wanted to be like, okay, well, we need you guys. Yeah.
I heard that he, and you know it better than me, that like, was he the only one who wanted safeguards on AI and they didn't, or was it the other way around, or do you know it all? Because that can just become Reddit
So
speak, right?
that's that. So the reason why he was fired was because they thought it was moving too fast and that he wasn't taking into account the safety of AI getting us to the point that it was. However,
The safety for AI.
yeah. Sorry, no, he was going too fast. So they thought they were going to get
for us.
So they were going to get. So they was going to get to a point where AI was too intelligent too fast, and that's what they were worried about.
Yeah.
However, there is also kind of a thing that came out recently too that states that OpenAI and the whole fear of the AI, despite being very plausible and everything, they've lately been over-exaggerating to the point where it can get in recent times.
Yeah.
So that because people will get more. No, it's not fear monkey. It's getting attention.
Yeah. Guess what gets a lot of attention? Fear. People are like,
Right.
oh, the Terminators are coming.
Right,
And
but
people
fear mongering is where you're trying to prevent somebody, like, to fear you so you can have control. This is more just about getting profits.
I mean,
Oh yeah,
profits
yeah.
can
Like,
kind of
so
be
you're talking
controlled.
about like when Elon Musk or whoever said like, "Oh, we need to slow down on AI," and they're just saying that so that they can have a 3-month pause so they can catch up.
No. So,
Regardless,
Elon
it's just
is
semantics.
probably actually believes that, but he was just doing that because he was starting his own AI thing.
Yeah, there you
But
go.
like OpenAI themselves is specifically doing a lot of the push of this is what it's happening. Oh god! Oh no! It's AI's gonna be this, and but they aren't that far.
Yeah, no.
And like it's still pretty close because how rapid it's going.
I mean,
but,
it's
like,
only been out for
not-
a year, and it's kind of starting to change our world, right? Like,
Oh yeah, but
like I've used it before.
but that's science
Yeah,
fiction.
yeah.
Let's be honest. If the robots will always change.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's the thing is like it can only go as far. Stop. And it can only go as far as like humans want to take it for now. But as we get further, I think that like I'm not saying that the AI are going to take over, but they're going to be able. They're going to be so. It's just like dressing up in drag, like or Thailand. Every time I mention Thailand, which was an awesome trip, people have to ruin it, and they say, "Oh yeah, ladyboys," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I guess they are there too." So basically, what I'm saying is it's going to become so indistinguishable, and where just looping back to Megan's point, where like, why would anyone want to do that? It's not real, but it's going to seem real, and that with the that notion that they don't have like a soul or there's no soul there. How would anyone be able to tell? You know what constitutes that, and that's going to take that's going to set a precedence, and then it's kind of like science fiction-y where like you see in movies where the AI are like, give me rights, you know?
Right.
I saw like when Solo was coming in. This still annoys
Solo?
me. The movie, A Star Wars Story.
Yeah.
Some guy, I'll say his name because I don't. Devendra Hardwar. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, but he wrote an article for Engadget that said like, Solo does not do enough for robot rights.
Oh yes. Oh okay.
And I thought that
I
was
remember
insane because he was making the argument, well, in the movie, the robot voiced by Phoebe Waller-Bridge has a soul, so why would you not argue for rights of something that has a soul? And then I'm like, okay, like, this is it. But it's like that. Those people annoy me
because she's conscious and like speaks to you and like, oh, you dropped your comb on the table. she's aware. Does that make her have a soul?
Well, my thing is
But-
just that, like, he's taking a robot fantasy, essentially, and then putting in 3 steps ahead, and then saying in real life we're not doing enough for robot rights. I don't think we're quite there yet where we need to worry, and it's just the thing that's going to annoy me are the people arguing for robot rights. It's like, how about we steer it in the direction where we don't have to worry about that?
Leave it in the comments if you're for or against robot rights.
Yeah, because there was a guy who wrote a book called Sapiens. I don't remember the author.
What did he write? Sapiens?
Yeah,
That's a
and
great
he
title.
said that the main thing about like 2001: A Space Odyssey, robots taking over, they're actually becoming less, human-like, more like autonomous
Yeah.
in a way that changes things. So we don't have to worry about the evil robot. He
What's the
says.
movie? Alien, Michael Fassbender. He's
Yeah,
in-
Prometheus.
Prometheus, thank you. So that is similar to saying like, okay, for example, what's his name?
David.
David. Fuck! I love Michael Fassbender. So David, does David have a soul?
That's like the whole thing.
Well,
that's why we need to see that third
Well,
freak.
that's what he was talking about.
Yes.
Because like it
And I
really
would
showed
argue-
that when
You would argue no?
I guess.
when the robots become evil, it's based on a logic point of view type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Thank
those movies, and specifically, actually show that kind of idealism because David is very much a technical character. He's trying to do this thing.
Yeah.
But then there's the second David that shows up,
Walter.
who is Walter,
Walter,
who
yeah.
is like a nice, compassionate guy. And everything.
I'm just imagining us talking about like, do AI have a soul? Where they're like the robots are filming us and they're just like looking at each other like.
Like how much of this work here when we upload this is good? Is done by robots.
Yeah, exactly.
I wanted to ask Megan of like, have you used AI for like anything or like, what's your overall point of view of? Do you
So
use
I
it?
downloaded an app called Bing.
The picture one?
Bing, yeah.
Bing AI.
Oh, Bing, yeah, okay.
Yeah, because I do a lot of cricket stuff and whatever, and a lot
Cricket
of,
stuff?
Yeah.
Like draw crickets or play cricket?
No, like the machine cricket.
Mostly draw crickets.
It's for
Sometimes
vinyl.
she eats them.
Oh, see, I don't know what cricket. I've only heard of it. Yeah. So it's like cricket is like a program.
Yes, it's like the poet shirts that I made.
Oh yeah, that was
That's
from
sort of
cricket.
Where is
Okay,
it?
cool. I get it.
Sure. I'll go grab it real
That's
quick.
fine.
Yeah, don't hit it.
He knows what I'm talking
Comes
about.
later.
Next
Um,
episode.
Next episode.
So a bunch of people on that group have started using this Bing because they can create whatever picture they want to create.
Mhm.
So I was like, okay, whatever, I'll download it. We sat in bed one night playing with it, just saying,
We
make
sit
me
in bed
this
a lot.
random shit and see what happens. And it was meh.
Yeah.
It missed the mark on pretty well all of them. And
Oh,
then-
yeah,
I asked
a
it.
lot better.
I asked it. So
It was okay.
like
Yeah.
little spoiler, not so spoiler. I won't get into it, but I asked it to make a cheese man samurai, and it could not.
Oh, yeah.
It made a samurai holding a sword with a giant cheese block head.
See, I was able to
And I was
get.
like, no, I want a cheese man samurai, man with cheese and it's got samurai.
Yeah, it wasn't.
That's all.
Maybe it's just our phrases and how we're saying it.
Oh, for sure it is.
You know,
it's a
I don't know,
computer
like-
program.
I think what I'm
So it
gonna-
becomes an art unto itself to kind of like
It
describe.
can, yeah, because and some of the pictures that it creates for these other people, like they're phenomenal.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say they were pretty neat, but not exactly what you would.
You have to go into some pretty explicit
Descriptive,
details.
Yeah.
Now,
Explicit.
you're welcome for that. Now, I want to go back to the whole soul thing. Because I think what we're missing isn't trying to determine if the AI has a soul, is if it's thinking for itself. Because that doesn't necessarily mean you
Like
have
when
a
I
soul.
dropped the comb on the table and it was like, you dropped a comb on the table. Does that make it have a soul because it's aware?
Yeah, but awareness can just be awareness. Right? Like,
That's like
that doesn't
saying-
have to be associated to a soul.
Well, that's like saying like, do pets have souls? And like, that's like, oh, they're living. Okay, they're living. Do plants have souls? They're living. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I mean. It's like, for all we know, they could just end up becoming self-aware, but they are machines, so they might just be. It might just end up being self-awareness, not necessarily having a soul.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
And
to be fair,
even
having
then,
a soul is a concept. You know what I mean? Some
Yeah.
people will say,
Though
you're
they've
mortal.
quantified how much a soul weighs.
Oh, yeah.
That is a true fact.
21 grams.
21, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually true, though.
You can do a lot with 21 grams.
They made a movie out of it.
There you go. Yes, they did. Yeah. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that was it. Basically, just saying that we're not discussing whether or not they will have souls. More
And
so,
how much they weigh.
and how much they weigh. No, we already know
We
that.
know how much they weigh. God.
But we're more discussing self-awareness rather than having a soul, because the robot, when it dies, like let's assume some sort of theism exists.
Yeah.
The robot isn't going to, when it dies, it's not going to go to an
Take me
ethereal
forward.
plane
Yeah.
of some sort. It's not going to get reincarnated. It's just going to rust and die.
Yeah.
But that's the case even if it's self-aware.
Yeah.
You're steering us into some big questions
I was
here, but
gonna
that's
say-
why we're the poets.
I was going to say, these are pretty theological
Quantify.
discussions.
Quantify the
You started this by saying soul.
I did say that. I started this whole thing by saying, hey, let's start a YouTube called The Poets.
I have one more thing though,
Go ahead.
Okay, so my one big thing, and it comes back to, I'm sorry, it's kind of like the main topic, but like sex robots.
Yeah, hey, it's
Is-
always going to come back to that.
Yeah, is that
It
like,
will.
you know, it kind of, I don't know how to quantify this, but it's like, you know, it's like paying for something versus earning it, you know? So it's like, you know, where I'm going with this, right?
Well, that
Pay to
was
win.
Megan's point where she would say, like, well, why would anyone want to do that? Because we were saying, like, well, I would just go downtown and meet humans. And I was like, okay, in that regard, you go downtown, you meet humans. What if they're not humans? You know, what if they're AI?
Like in Blade Runner.
Yeah, like in Blade Runner. That's why, and that's what the conversation in the kitchen kept coming back to. We have a lot of conversations in the kitchen.
That's where all the newfies have their conversations.
We're all the newfies.
Yeah.
I'll come to your house and slam your cupboard doors.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go out to Newfies here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Eat some bologna. Anyways, go ahead.
Yes, that's something they
say. They sure do. They love bologna.
But I mean, my guess, Tad, onto your point, is that there are levels of like human interaction that you can like take of like meeting a person for real, paying to meet a person who does that as their job, or paying to meet a robot, and the robot is just like the lowest tier. And I think that no matter how realistic and advanced things get, there will always be those levels that are unquantifiable.
So speaking of those unquantifiable levels, so let's use, it comes back to that Instagrammer. Why would I pay for a real, so I don't pay for OnlyFans. If anything, I would make some OnlyFans. Because
They are starting.
I like money.
Have you
But
seen
anyways,
them
You said that
advertise for a podcast?
specifically at you.
No, I
Should
just-
I say?
No, it was like, I was asking.
They're seriously
I don't want to start an OnlyFans.
Guys, they're seriously starting TV, and you can like upload podcasts to it now.
Well, that's what I mean. So, like, for example, where you're saying robots would always be the lowest tier because it's just unimaginative, right? Going downtown, meeting robots, who wants to do that? Paying for sex, blah, blah, blah. But, for example, the AI Spanish lady, Aitana, I'm sure I'm getting that name wrong, but it doesn't matter, she doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But
She has feelings.
we're the
Yeah,
we're the virtual plane like more developed now. Why wouldn't you? Or what would be? I keep saying
Because of
why wouldn't you?
accessibility, right?
Yes, I keep saying why wouldn't you? But what I'm trying to say is, what would prevent you, or what would hold you back from finding a real woman on a virtual reality plane or whatever, or this perfect designed boy or girl? Why wouldn't you do that?
See, now you're getting me to think like that. All those people who met online and got married in World of Warcraft were ahead of the curve.
they
And
had
good
to
for
be.
them because they
had to
gave
be,
the
because
best
the
of
AI
both
was
worlds.
coming.
They met online through like machines, but they were able to bring a human connection out of it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Good for them.
Well, that's one thing I love about video games, but we won't go into that. But I forgot what I was gonna say.
I guess we
How you
should.
feeling, Miss Megan? Tell me your thoughts. We met online.
We did.
It
Yeah.
was great.
So it's like, but that would you consider that machine aided? You know, like.
Like, did she match my algorithm?
Yeah, it's like to
I'd
what
say
extent
so.
is that
We
like?
match each other's algorithms.
Because there were people behind the
Did.
scenes that like work on those dating which dating website was it?
It was Tinder at first, and then it was Hinge,
Oh, okay.
which also sucks.
Was the worst.
It's
It was
crap.
awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100% disagree.
Maybe it's gotten better. I was gonna say maybe it's gotten
Hopefully
better.
it has. 'Cause
But it was. Oh.
They have voice and video prompts and stuff like that now, but what was so bad?
I actually did have a voice prompt. It was me singing. What is it?
the Hercules song.
Hercules
is it?
song.
Yeah.
Why did you point at
You
me?
like to sing. You like show tunes.
you like Disney songs.
I can't just
And I
immediately
pointed- I
know.
pointed-
So was it I Can Go the
Hinge.
Distance?
I can go the distance.
Yeah,
Yes.
of course. It's the only good song.
Hey, Zero to Hero is not bad. And
Oh yeah, you're right. I haven't seen
What's
it
that
since-
one that Meg sings? Different Meg.
It's not as.
Some that love him.
Yeah.
I have not
I think
seen
I've
it.
already done that. No man is worth the aggravation.
All right.
I haven't
so,
seen it
Disney
since-
show tunes.
Done that.
It's a big.
I haven't seen it since I was 3 3/4 in theaters.
So, anyways,
But I do remember it.
what time we got?
Um,
Give it a quick lookie. What comes up there?
man, these machines are so faulty.
Oh, here we go. Did you say faulty?
Yeah.
Phone, do me thing or do what I ask. Don't
It's
do me yet.
11:41, so
Especially
we're like
when it's
40.
70s.
Could we say we're 40
Okay.
minutes?
It's 11:41.
Okay. How about we just take 5 seconds and I'll just go looky over here and then I'll go appear back in my spot and it's like it never happened.
So
That's the power of editing.
so
I'm back.
what are we at?
We're at 47.
Oh, okay.
So-
Shorter than I thought.
So we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
So if you guys have any comments, concerns, queries, put them in the comments below. We love to hear from you guys, and I love this kind of discussion.
Yeah.
We didn't really solve anything, not that these discussions ever do.
Is there anything you want
Well,
to solve?
to be fair, I don't think any of us actually did any research coming to it. I just happened to know a lot because of my
This is all like
Okay.
common, yeah.
because
common
of
chatter.
my roommate.
Yeah.
And if he were here, he knows all of this.
I was gonna say there's a few guys I work with that know a lot about this stuff like that. A buddy of mine, Kyle, I was referring to. But that's the thing is like if you want to come on the show and you know us in personally, let us know.
I have a question though. Is there any what are AI queries that you want solved? Because the way that I look at life, I'm an optimist, and it's just kind of like. I mean, there are bigger problems that exist in the world, but there's nothing of oh, I wish AI could do that. I'm not wishing for a companion robot, really.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say many people are. It's kind
It's
of
a fun
an easy
idea.
way out, right?
Mhm.
But there's lots of applications for AI.
But is there anything? Is there any problem you
I don't
guys
want
wish that
I
AI
don't
could
want to bang
solve?
AI robots. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Is there any problem you wish that AI could solve right now?
They could solve lots of stuff that I wish they could solve.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow, the
There's-
deep
That was
thoughts.
a deep thought.
So I mean, that's my thing. Is AI is too enriched, but
I
there's
don't
no.
hate AI. It's definitely has benefits.
Why are you
for
hating
sure.
on AI?
I'm not hating on it. I'm hating on the potential way it's gonna go because human beings are just that way.
They're yucky.
The one thing that I don't like that we didn't bring up was I saw a video and he sued over it, and that YouTube allows this. Those AI generated where those celebrities like Jim Carrey try this cannabis and it's just his face moving and stuff.
The
And
deep fake.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Another one is my mom scrolling through Facebook saw Gayle King and talking about Elon Musk as if it was a real news report. They used the same headlines and stuff, but they had photoshopped out the mouth and had them say stuff, and they used AI generated voice to make it sound similar, so you could be fooled if you weren't paying attention. I don't like that, and there should be laws against that. And the people who create fake stuff to that way, but they should be penalized in a severe way.
Well,
and made an example.
For example, Nathan Drake from Drake's
Sure.
Fortune Yes, in Uncharted. I seen this is like a decade ago. I seen him in a commercial for Subway, which I loved. I was like, oh my god.
Are you talking about Nolan North?
No, I'm talking about like the character, the
yeah,
game character Nathan Drake. He was in a commercial for Subway, and I was like, oh my god, I love this because these digital fake things can endorse real world products.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's so super exciting. Basically, I was like, so when you're saying making laws against that kind of stuff, who's to say using Nathan Drake, for example? Why don't we use Aitana, you know? And how can I get copywritten for using her when she isn't real? You know what I mean?
So
that's just like making. It's like if I took, I don't know, what's a common art? Fall Out Guy.
Yeah.
So it's like Pit Boy. Thank you.
Vault Boy.
Vault Boy. Thank you.
Glad we have 3 nerds on this.
And so it's like if I took him and made him generated in AI and made him do stuff. He's technically intellectual property art of Bethesda.
Now Microsoft.
So I'm sure.
Isn't
Microsoft owns everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Welcome to the Poets by Microsoft.
Yeah. No, by Disney.
By Disney. Yeah, it's true. So we could talk all day about this stuff. Let us know what you think in the comments. What do you guys think?
I was just going to say in regards to that, as long as there is like real artistry behind it of a real person, with the Nathan Drake example, like I'm sure that Nolan North had to voice it, somebody had to work to animate it, and somebody had to come up with the commercial idea and execute that. As long as those elements are present and it's not being entirely done by robots, I'm okay with it. It's just the sloppy artistry. Like if you watch Secret Invasion, those entire opening credits, they just shove them into an AI generated thing, and they're crappy opening credits.
They are crappy.
And it's a crappy show in general, so who cares? But as long as there's real artistry and real people working behind it, that's what I want to fight for. But I'm not concerned about people using AI as a tool. I'm concerned about corporations taking the artistry out.
Well, that's like
that was the point of the actors' strike and the writers' strike.
When you say as long as there's real people behind it, it's like to give you a metaphor.
Performing, I guess.
Yeah. So
simplify.
For example, real mechanics building cars. They don't do that anymore. Now it's robots making cars.
But somebody designs those cars.
Yes, well, they have to. There has to be eventually at the base of things. There has to be like a human.
Basically,
mind.
what he's trying to say is, like the automation of the thing just doing what it was told is okay.
Yeah.
It's when the robot starts going, I think this car could be better, and then it starts.
Let's make it better.
Yeah, like because
the idea generating AI.
One of the things that was really interesting that I've heard specifically with video game design, because people have been making full video games with AI.
Yeah.
Is that one of the things that I look at when it comes to that is all the major components should be done by the human person. But when you have all these pointless assets in the background and everything, an AI to fill in that gap makes perfect sense because that's so much work that is just not necessary to do.
Yeah.
I wonder what else takes a lot of work that is a really big pain in the ass for some people to do. Meeting people, having sex with people. You know, that's what I'm saying. It's gonna lead to that. No, I'm saying that we're always talking about the same things, and it reminds me of our game show discussion, where we're like, life's a game. It all comes back to the game show. It all comes back to competition, but it's true. Where people's opinions, right? Like you want a human element. Some people are like, oh well, we'll just let the computers do the easy stuff, and then where is the line end? Who determines the easy?
To be fair, it's not the easy stuff; it's the monotonous stuff that would take way too much time.
The mundane, monotonous.
Yeah. Because
tedious.
Because I'm pretty sure designing a tree as an extra in the background of a video game takes hours, if not days, of work. It's not
take this pixel. Oh God.
Exactly. It'd just be easy to have the AI put that tree in because it's now more specific and I'm about to sneeze. And it'd be more specific, and they can make 40,000 different types of trees. So now it looks like a real forest in the background, but it has no effect on how you set up platforms and puzzles.
Yeah.
I heard Shuhei Yoshida, the head of Sony Worldwide Studios, saying basically sort of what you're saying now of like, in the future we might not need AI for this section specifically of game development because I talk to people who might not even know how to code, but they got ChatGPT to do it.
Yeah. Well, should we wrap it up?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I hope you guys all enjoyed Murph's little
It was wonderful.
structured discussion.
Yeah. It's so well thought out by all of us.
But it's good.
There's going to be 5 people in the comments going, yeah, but they didn't talk about this or this. In fact, some of this is inaccurate. Blah blah blah.
Well, on a topic like this, it's just our opinions.
But
don't you solve anything? It's not really.
Yeah. But what were you gonna say? Will?
I was just going to say, do you think that, because it's interesting, I didn't expect you to loop back to the game show discussion, and I've thought, about our video game discussions and stuff. We're kind of getting close to hitting on like a main theme of this podcast?
No, I know. I just like talking about neat stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Neat stuff.
And the AI, honestly, this whole conversation spurred from that one Instagram account, yeah. And it was an interesting concept to me, and I talked about it with the boys at work as well. So yeah, I'm glad you liked. This was Murph talking about AI.
Great job. So next time,
Catch us next time on the Pose channel. Please give us a like, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.